Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are working on this very good looking piece of crystal opal. This is an interesting stone though, because to your eye right now, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I'm guessing it doesn't. It looks like a really nice medium grade crystal opal. But this has some serious problems that unless you're holding it in your hands, you don't actually see it at all. So you can see here, if you look from the top, it looks like it's copped a bit of a hit. This opal has quite a bit of fracturing inside the stone. And if I use a torch, like Riley Gunn's little penlight one here, there's a lot of crazing and fracturing going through the stone. It might not be crazing, there does look like there's a little bit of crazing on the outer edge, but mostly it looks like it's copped quite a hit, or maybe multiple hits. So this is going to be one of those classic cases where you look at it online and it looks really, really decent, really nice. And there's no way that you can see that there are some absolute fundamental flaws inside this stone. So we're going to work it and see how we go. Who knows, it could turn out pretty good if I can get all the cracks out, but as you'll see later on, I'm pretty sure that a lot of these cracks are going to defeat us. But you know what, cracks aren't all that bad, because it just means if there's a deep crack here, we'll just split this off and maybe we still get a decent stone out of this half here and then a smaller stone out of this half here. Or maybe a few different stones, because I think this has plenty of cracks and we'll see which ones take hold and which ones don't. Which ones I can grind away and which ones we have to encourage and just get it to split along that line and then deal with what we've got at the end. Now the strategy for this one is going to be, because you can see that the crust is not overly thick, it is that fairly calcium style crust, so the Nova points, I don't put them to work on this. I'm going to end up just going with one of the higher grit sintered diamonds, comboing that up with the old classics. So we'll go with the four pack Novas from black to pink, and then this one being a nice clean pure opal, we're just going to go for some super cerium oxide, and that run should get us through to making the stone look like this across the entire surface, but with cracks. If the cracks take hold and they snap, so be it. We'll just make lots of smaller stones that look like this. No matter what, the color's still going to be there. It's just whether there's cracks in it or the cracks split and we get smaller stones. Only one way to find out. Let's dive in, get spinning. And away we go. So this one's going to be a pretty brief one, because as you'll see, we do come across the cracks and we have a bit of a look at it and it's not looking too great. So 600 grit I start out with, just because this face doesn't have a lot. The sand on it is pretty soft. The other side with the calcite, the calcium kind of deposit, that one I switch over to the lower grit, the 80 grit. Because the 600 just wasn't getting through it anywhere near fast enough. Here it's getting through way quick. It's a little bit scary, but you will get better at it, and you can see here working on the edges as well. I wanted to take the sharp edges off just in case I did go to the Nova points, and you really can't do that with the 80 grit. I never recommend people work anywhere near the edges with the 80 grit. It will chip, it will get real rough. And you'll end up just making it more serrated, so stay away from that. Go with the 600 for the edges. And yeah, this is what it looks like when I got through that side, and you can see here, this other side, it's just a different material. The 600 does work. These sintered diamond burrs work on anything, but the 80 just melts this stuff away, whereas the 600 really struggles. So it is very scary sometimes when you're working on this stuff and the color bar is right underneath the hard surface. So you've just got to be really careful, but you do a couple dozen of these and you'll get the feel of it. You just want to be pretty careful. I love dipping the burr in when it's coated and it just spits all of the dust off. And you can see here, the little sandy spots aren't completely gone. Even though it is that hard material, I still don't like to go too deep into the opal with an 80. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a great philosopher once said, you've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run, and this is the point where we run. This stone looks quite cool. I've kept it underwater because I'm not going to take it past the sintered diamond burr stage at this point in time. I might make this a doublet. This is a black background, which is why it looks so good. But if I bring it up a little bit closer here, you can see, you know, it looks good. It's got some color. It's a very turquoise. But if I flip it over, you're starting to see these little nicks, these little lines. And if I get a little bit of the water off it, and we have a look, it's not Ethiopian opal, so it shouldn't have any mad side effects. So that's the porous surface of the sintered diamond, but look at these little lines. Now these are little fractures and they go all the way through the stone. I'll pop up a clip of me holding it in front of a light, and in that you can really amplify it because you can see all the ones in this face. It's actually much harder to see those little lines, even though there are a lot in this face, because it's undulating. So the flat side, it's really defined and really easy to see all of these little cracks. But you can see from the light behind the opal trick, it is, yeah, the X-ray vision really highlights some serious fractures. So this one, even though it doesn't feel so brittle, each one of these little lines, there's dozens of them all throughout. It's just not a great stone. Now I can keep those imperfections. I kind of have to because there's no way I can slice all of those out. I can keep them and glue this onto a doublet backing, which I think I'll do just for fun. But yeah, in terms of this, if those cracks weren't there, this would be a beautiful gem of an opal. And honestly, it still could polish up pretty well and look pretty nice. But once it's all polished up and shined up, all of these lines are going to be incredibly obvious, especially on the back, which I'm not too worried about. But the back actually has some of the nicest color. So unfortunate, very unfortunate. You can even get stones that look really good in the rough, look really good underwater like this. But once you have a closer look and a closer inspection in person, that's when it screams out huge problems. Disappointing, but you can see there is lots of color, and that's at least a semi-goal. We've scored a couple points on color. We've just lost basically all the points in the quality of the stone, which is how the cookie crumbles. This one hasn't crumbled. It's actually, even with all these splits, it's really rugged and really solid. For now, I'm going to keep it in a little jar and possibly doublet it. You can actually reverse a doubleting, so don't worry too much about it. It's a lot easier to undo a doublet and redo it than it is a triplet. So I might give it a crack and doublet this one just to permanently lock it into this beautiful color, because without this, and if I had a bit of a white backing, you can see it's not the greatest in the world. And in fact, if I get rid of that and just put it on skin, you can see it's just really, it doesn't have that much color. This doublet effect here with the water and black background really helps it. Really helps it look good on camera. But we saw this coming, so I'm actually not that disappointed. You can have a piece of rough that looks really good in photos and videos sometimes, but once you get it in your hands, and you don't have to have a torch to be able to shine through, just hold it up. If you're out in an opal field or just talking to someone on the street and they hand you an opal, you want to check it, just hold it up to the sun, look through it. You'll see those stand out like nothing else. Hopefully that keeps you guys on the lookout. You can definitely still see some lines, but sometimes lines that look like that are actually just patterns in the opal as well, so that becomes a bit tricky. It's just something that happens, to be honest. The only way to avoid it is to have the opal in your hand, look at it with a light, and you'll see it clear as day. But online, we've just got to deal with it, and it is going to happen. Thankfully, this was just a demo piece sent over by Julian to demonstrate this point, because even when he's picking up opal and stuff, he can't check every single stone when he's buying kilos of it at a time. And yeah, when he finds one interesting like this that might have some flaws or whatnot, I'm very much happy to show it off and just to help you guys learn more about what to look for in rough opal. And yeah, anytime you see a solid hit and you kind of see something that you think looks like splits, always question it. But anyway, there's plenty more gems out there, so I'm gonna dive in and hunt down a couple others. I've got a couple locked in already that I know are gonna produce something really nice, and this one we'll have fun with. I've got to show you guys how to double it and stuff. Heaps of you guys have been showing me opals that you've been working on, and a lot of them should just be straight turned into doublets. Like, they've got a little bit of color there. I tell them to just get a texture and color in the back, the old texture doublet, and have a look at it, and they say, wow, that is so much better. How can I make that permanent? And instead of just saying, like a smartass, use a permanent marker, I go through the process with them of doubleting. And I still haven't done it on the channel because I haven't done it for a long time, but I am going to show it off because it's definitely something that I see that you guys could make really good use of, and that's what the channel is for. So I'll get onto that, might even do it next. And yeah, I'll see you guys in that video or another one before then. Catch you around.